Hey, what's going on, guys? Mr. Brickswag back here with another video. Today we have a very interesting set to review. I'm just gonna go straight into it. This is C-3PO. We have a buildable C-3PO droid. Obviously, C-3PO is one of the most iconic droids in Star Wars history. Him alongside R2-D2 are, just kind of the dynamic duo of Star Wars and everything. So very, very neat. The reason why I got this set is because I gifted R2-D2 to someone very special to me, and she built that on her own, and so I got the C-3PO to kind of build on my own to complement that. So very, very neat there. Kind of matches the Star Wars lore, I guess. But anyway, this is going to be super sick. I believe this version of C-3PO is probably modeled after Episode 4, but just probably the original trilogy in general. I mean, he has that silver leg look, which is really cool. But anyway, yes, should be a really, really cool build. It looks very nice, and it should have some decent size on it. I've done buildable droids before. I did the Imperial Probe droid, which I did like a lot, and then I did the Droidico, which I didn't really like. But hopefully this will be better than both of those. So anyway, guys, just really excited for this. I'm going to go ahead and unbox it now, and then we'll take a look at the contents. Alrighty, guys, so just went ahead and unboxed the C-3PO set. Just first thing to notice is that the background of the box is completely black to represent that this is an 18+ display set. Also a 25-year anniversary, pretty cool. But yeah, we have a total of 11 numbered bags here and 1,1138 pieces. So pretty sizable build overall. And with a sizable build, we have a pretty sizable instruction manual that came in this little kind of paper booklet there to prevent folding, which is really, really cool. We have a couple pages on the history of C-3PO and everything, which is very nice and neat. Definitely a big fan of that. Got a couple pages on the model designers and the features and stuff. But yeah, really, really excited to get into this. I already took a little bit of a peek at the instructions, and I can see some very, very detailed instructions on how to do all the Technic pieces and everything. So yeah, this is really, really exciting, but gonna go ahead and start building now. So I'll tune in with you guys afterwards. Alrighty, guys, just finished the build of the C-3PO. Build came out absolutely fantastic. I'll dive into the full details, but man, this is one of my favorite builds, honestly, of all time. It's a shocker to say that because I wasn't really expecting much from this set. I mean, it looked nice and cool, but man, that was such a blast. The build took me a little over 4 hours. I think the exact time was 4 hours and 10 minutes. So a pretty long build process overall. I did spread it out over the course of a couple days, but yeah, it looks really, really nice. If I had to rate the build process overall, I would give it a 10 out of 10. Pretty much no issues with it. Everything was absolutely fantastic. Honestly, absolutely loved it. So yeah, we'll get into the kind of minifigure lineup now, or rather the single minifigure review, and then we will go into the set, the aesthetics and everything and some of the features. So let's do that. So starting here with the kind of lone minifigure, we have C-3PO. Haha, surprise, surprise. You thought they would include a Luke Skywalker with this? Anyway, C-3PO, very, very high quality figure. First of all, he has arm printing on both sides, which is real, real nice. He has that kind of front printing, which, if you compare it to the bigger model, you can see it's pretty accurate, pretty accurate overall. He even has the dual molded leg right here, which is a fantastic addition. I mean, I absolutely love that. You got that silver leg, such a nice little detail, and I'm glad they went through the extra effort for that. The backside also has some great printing. And again, if you compare it to the backside of the set, it looks fantastic. Because this is a display set, you also get this little plaque that comes with most of the kind of display sets. You have C-3PO, Protocol Droid, Anakin made it, obviously, all these affiliations. So yeah, really, really cool. Definitely love that. You also get this 25th anniversary brick because this was made in 2024, which was the 25th anniversary of Lego Star Wars. So yeah, really cool minifigure there. Absolutely perfect. So no complaints there. Now, first, let's take a look at the kind of aesthetic of the build. We'll start from up high and then kind of work our way down. So starting from up here, you have the head. This head is actually able to spin 360 degrees, which is really cool. So you can kind of take a look at everything. It looks really, really nice. Absolutely fantastic. I do think that, I think this coloring is a little bit different than what's kind of in the midsection, but it's not really huge. I mean, if you look at it from afar, honestly, the gold kind of all blends together, but you know, you can notice it if you're a little bit up close that these are a little bit off. I mean, especially compared to the rest of the set, this color is definitely different than the rest of the gold. Speaking of gold, I absolutely love the gold that they use in this set. It's just all around so nice. I think this is probably the set with the most gold pieces if I had to imagine. And I know the gold pieces are probably a little more expensive. They're very, very shiny and just really high quality and nice. So absolutely love that they did so many gold pieces here. That's really cool. The eyes here are probably the most inaccurate part of the build. There's also the mouth, but I think the mouth is kind of fine. They printed it onto this piece, which is really cool. We get a lot of printed pieces in this set. The eyes just look a little bit off to me. I mean, I think they did the best that they can do, so it's not like horrible or anything, but I do wish maybe there was a custom piece or something like that. But that's a very, very small nitpick. It does still look pretty good overall. And again, I love the fact that you can kind of just spin this around. Looks really cool, very accurate, I would say. Now looking at the kind of rest of the body, you have two more giant printed pieces here, and those are absolutely fantastic. Again, the body's just pretty much perfect, I would say. Even these little details on the neck right here are perfect. The midsection is where you start having a couple of, I guess, I don't want to say issues, but just maybe things that could have been a little better. These are not printed pieces, and I can kind of understand why they're not printed. It's because they're kind of weird angular pieces, and so printing them would probably cost a lot of money and just take a lot of time, and it might not be completely accurate. The stickers are pretty good, I would say, because they're black on black. It actually blends in pretty nicely. You can't really tell that they're stickers, to be honest. You could probably mistake them for printed pieces if you look from far away, so not the worst thing in the world. The bigger problem that I have with the stickers personally is because I think the stickers don't accurately reflect what wires are on C-3PO in the actual movie. I've taken a look at these side by side, and it's just not super accurate. So I wish they would have worked that out a little bit better and put maybe a little bit more effort into the graphic design of the stickers. Again, it's a nitpick, but it's something that I would appreciate for sure. You know, you're paying $140 for this set, so might as well get the best quality, right? Anyway, when you look at the arms for this, absolutely fantastic. I will pose them in a second. I'll do that after, but they are posable, I will say that. And they look very nice. Again, very sleek, very gold and everything. So perfect. I mean, pretty much perfect there. And the legs actually might be the favorite part of my build. I mean, these are the most complex because they have to hold up the rest of the structure. And they're very, very solid and sturdy. I always love a good leg build. And again, you have the gold over here and you have the silver over here. There is some kind of silver, I think they call them drum lacquered pieces right here, and these are absolutely fantastic. Again, two of my favorite colors. I mean, the gold and the silver. Man, Lego went premium for this one, and it definitely shows. It just looks absolutely beautiful. I mean, even the small details they did like on the sides right here, just absolutely fantastic. And I love the detail on the legs. It's absolutely perfect. I mean, just perfect looking aesthetically. And just in case I didn't mention it, the C-3PO is stood on top of a kind of sand base plate. So this is supposed to represent, you know, C-3PO being on Tatooine. So yeah, pretty cool. Little throwback to the New Hope movie and everything. So yeah, pretty cool there. Now taking a look at the backside of C-3PO, we already kind of looked at the head, so we won't look at that anymore. The underside of the arms here is probably the most glaring bad detail. I mean, this is just not good. I mean, I get why it looks like this. It's probably because most people don't look at the underside of the arm, but it is a detail that I am not a big fan of. So I wish they would have maybe done a little bit more to kind of just smooth that out, maybe something like that. You do have a kind of backside right here, and this is actually adjustable. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be, but I think the default position is supposed to, you know, kind of leave it like that, but you can tilt it back a little bit. Pretty cool. You have a very nice kind of, for lack of a better word, a booty build. So not bad right there. And then again, perfect leg build, absolutely fantastic. Just love the details. I mean, even these kind of wing pieces that they use, it's fantastic. I mean, it's pretty much perfect. Now, this is a display set, but they do have one kind of like, I don't want to say play feature, but kind of a posability feature. And that is with the arms. Of course, the head can, you know, pose, but typically you don't, need like a C-3PO rotating his head all the way around. At most, he'll look like to the side or something. But the arms really are what give this guy character. So you can actually move this with sort of 3 axes right here. So this is the first one. This is the shoulder joint. You can kind of lift them up, which is really cool. You also have this kind of elbow joint right here. You can kind of swerve this way and this way, kind of moves along a ball. So pretty cool. Just make sure you adjust this after you're finished adjusting this. So you can do that and then boom, looks pretty cool. And you know, make sure that's kind of working. So he's doing a little wave here. Again, you have some freedom with this. It basically just moves along this axis. You can't move it up or down. So that's, you know, just a limit, but not too bad. And then you have another ball joint kind of up here for him to do the hand thing. So you can kind of, it's kind of a weird dance move, but pretty cool. You can also move each of the fingers. I notice a lot of people don't talk about this, but the fingers all individually move as well, which is really cool. Not the thumb, but the 4 fingers right there. That's actually the last sticker piece you have, by the way. So aside from the body kind of pieces, you also have sticker pieces underneath both of his hands, which are pretty cool. So yeah, you can put his hand up like that. Oh boy, I think I just broke something. I believe this probably came from the backside. Yeah. So this piece, I noticed, is probably the most fragile piece on the arms. It's not great, unfortunately, both of the triangle pieces. So you do it 2 times here, and then you do it 2 times on the other arm as well. Those are not sturdy. I mean, they come back on pretty easily, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, just be careful when you pop things. Don't touch this. Maybe go here instead. But anyway, you can kind of have him, you know, throw in a little party, woo, woo, you know, raise the roof. And then you can also have him, you know, just in its default form like this. You know, you can kind of do whatever you want, like, you know, sort of like this. Maybe he's hugging someone. It's kind of a hug pose. Whatever you want. I mean, again, it's a really, really cool feature. I absolutely love it. So definitely one of the coolest features about the C-3PO set, for sure. If you guys can't already tell, I absolutely am in love with the C-3PO set. Again, there are minor flaws here and there, so it's not the most perfect set in the world, but for what it is absolutely fantastic. I really don't have many complaints about this. Again, it is a little bit pricey, 140 is probably a little bit too pricey. I think I have seen this on sale for as low as $120, so not bad. You can get it at that price, and I think it would be more than fair. But overall, if I had to rate this set, I would give it a 9 out of 10. A very, very, very good set. I mean, a perfect minifigure. Pretty much an almost aesthetically perfect build with a fantastic build process. Mostly pretty sturdy. There are some fragile bits here and there, which is not great, but pretty sturdy. The amount of printed pieces as well as kind of expensive Lego bricks is a huge plus. I mean, they did not have to do this. But, or actually, I guess they probably did, to be honest, to make it as high quality as possible. But I'm glad they did it. It looks fantastic. And even if there are some small flaws in the set, which there are, it is pretty much one of the best iterations of C-3PO that we could have ever gotten. I'm absolutely enthralled with this set. It is by far the best buildable droid that I've ever bought. And it's going to, you know, stay a while in my collection until, you know, the day comes when I can finally pair it with its lovely companion, R2-D2. By the way, if you don't have that set, please get it. I think it looks fantastic. Unfortunately, I don't have it with me right now because, like I said, my friend has it. But it is a perfect companion to this set. So absolutely lovely there. Definitely pair those two together like they're meant to be. Anyway, guys, hope you really enjoyed this review of the Lego Buildable C-3PO. I had a blast reviewing it. It's a fantastic set. And yeah, so just, you know, be sure to leave a like down below if you enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave a comment giving any negative or positive feedback that you guys have. Really appreciate it. If you like the videos, consider subscribing. Really helps me out a lot. Just, you know, gives me motivation to keep making videos. And if you want to stay tuned for more videos, stay tuned to Mr. Brickswag. Peace out, guys.